Hey guys, want to make your home cozier and save a little more money? Take a free online energy assessment from Energy Trust of Oregon. It's fast, easy, and gives you personalized tips to boost your home energy savings, lower bills, and more comfort. Shoot, I'm taking this quiz. Let's take it together at visitenergytrust.org/assessment. We can join thousands of Oregonians already making smarter energy moves. That's energytrust.org/assessment.
You don't have to put your bicycle away for the season just because it's rainy out there. With a little bit of preparation, riding through the rain can actually be pretty awesome. It's a great way to see Portland and stay connected to the city during the darker months. Ride Through the Seasons is a PBOT program that encourages Portlanders to try out cycling year-round through a series of group rides and skill-building workshops. Plus, PBOT is hosting a Rainy Rider photo contest in November where you have the chance to win some awesome swag. To learn more and to get involved, text BIKE to 888-520-0526 or visit portland.gov/ride seasons.
The Hood River Fruit Loop is a magical place year-round, but in the fall, that's when it really shines. With over 30 farms, wineries, and restaurants spread along a scenic drive through the rugged Hood River County countryside, there's just so much to do, see, and eat. It might just be the perfect fall outing. So today on CityCast Portland, Brian Vance, founder of Stumptown Savings, is joining us to share his very well-researched guide to getting the most out of a day trip through the Fruit Loop. Also, just a big thank you to the sponsor of today's episode, Portland Piano International. It's Thursday, October 9th. I'm Claudia Meza, and this is what Portland's talking about. Before we get into your picks, what do you think makes the Hood River Fruit Loop so special? Like, can you tell us a little bit about what it is, why October, and, why you're like, this is the best time to visit?
I mean, the Hood River Fruit Loop is unique because you have such a concentration of agricultural land in an area that is really close to Portland. So you don't have to go that far to get into places that feel like they're way out in the middle of nowhere. And the views are stunning. So, you're much higher elevation than you are in Portland. You have two mountains that you can see from most of the Hood River Fruit Loop. And what's really nice about October is, in the peak of summer, Hood River County can get really hot. It's, on the other side of the Cascades, so it's drier. But in October, it's just like downright pleasant. So it's a wonderful time to get out there. A lot of these farms are still going, and it just has a really cozy vibe.
Yeah, the weather thing is a good call because sometimes in the winter when I'm like, I just need to see the sun, I'm like, what's going on in Hood River or White Salmon,
Yeah, just across the bridge.
I do want to tell you that I did a railway bike tour of the Fruit Loop. Only caught like the first couple places because I know there's like 500 farms or something like that. But the railway only like hit the very beginning of the Fruit Loop. And so there was some sort of wine bar or whatever.
I have not done that. So that's cool to hear that you did that because I've seen those before.
Can I tell you why they're cool? Is because there's a button. It's like an electric bike. So the reason I didn't do it for the longest time was I was so afraid of like, what if I don't do it fast enough and the people behind me are like, save. And I ride my bike, but I'm like, that seems
it's a lot
different.
Heavier.
Yeah. And I don't want people behind me being like, oh my God, hurry up,
Right.
But like everyone's just hitting that button.
That's cool.
It was fun.
I'm going to have to check this out now.
Highly recommended. It's a really cute date. All right. Well, let's get into it. What are your favorite farms for you? Pick produce and like, what are you going to get there?
Yeah. The cool thing about the Fruit Loop is there really is something for everyone. And I like to start just outside of town at a place called Pearl's Place. So it's like a 5th generation farm with great views of the mountains. And they do a lot of apples and stone fruits in the summer and early fall. They also have pumpkins, and they have a really cool farm store where they're, selling a lot of this produce if you don't want to pick it yourself. I get that that's not for everyone. But they also make up really cool stuff. Like I was there a few weeks ago and they had a apple cider slushie with their homemade apple cider that was just like, and not alcoholic, just like a straight up apple cider that you think of, with fall and apple cider donuts and whatnot, but in a slushie format, which was really cool. Maybe not the thing you want on a cooler October day, but it was pretty hot the day I was there. So it was great. But yeah, Pearl's Place is just a fun spot. And it's actually got like a little playground too. So if you have kids, there's ways to keep them a little entertained and get them tired out before you venture into the fields or after.
I just imagine you like really just enjoying that cider slushy after a hard day of you picking apples.
It was so good, Claudia. I was wearing a hat too, and like my head was drenched. And so just like having the slushy there was just like
putting it on your forehead. You just
a cooling experience all around great. So for like you pick, there are two other places that are really fun. Packer Orchards. Packer Orchards is interesting because there's actually two locations. There's Packer Orchards Bakery, which is what many people have seen because it's right off of a highway along the Fruit Loop. It's this big red barn. They cook up all kinds of stuff, including, Marionberry and cream empanadas, which are just amazing.
Ooh.
Yeah. But the farm place, which is a little bit like off the main drag of the Fruit Loop, is really cool because it's got this petting zoo that has like Nigerian dwarf goats. It has all these different rides and weird things. There's like a giant adult-sized hamster wheel that you can like run in that's made out of old like corrugated plastic for irrigation. But then they also have you pick. They've got pumpkins, they've got apples, they've got corn, they've got just all kinds of stuff that you can get there. So it's a fun place to go, whether you have kids or not, because some of those games and activities are big enough for a grown man to participate in. There's a slide off of an old combine, which is very weird. I did it. It's fun. You can like lasso things. It's an odd place. I
want to lasso things.
Yeah, it's a fun farm.
Did you do the human wheel?
Oh yeah, and I got dizzy as heck. Like it's because so hamster wheel is probably not the right way to describe it because it's not like it doesn't stay in a place. It runs along a track.
Oh,
so you can like race someone. So I raced my wife.
Did you do like that cartoon thing where you just started spinning?
Yeah, you just start spinning. And so like I almost fell out of it at one point.
Oh my God.
It's really tricky to stay upright. I did make it to the end and there's bumpers. So you're not going to like run off the track or whatever. But it's not a thing that I think a kid would want to do because it's too damn big.
Already this one's winning because it has baked goods.
So Packer's great. And then honestly, one of my favorite places for produce is the Kiwakawa Family Orchard. So many people have seen them at farmers markets. They're at plenty of farmers markets around Portland, including my neighborhood farmers market here in Montevilla. But they are a multi-generation farm out in Hood River County that really specializes in apples. And what's great about their place is you can sample damn near every apple variety they sell. So because they are growing types of apples that you won't find in grocery stores, it can be a little bit intimidating to buy an apple and not know what you're getting into. But they have, sliced up chunks really fresh. Like they're going out there very regularly and updating these where you can, try a ginger gold apple, which is something I tried recently, which is delicious, by the way. I think it might be my new favorite apple.
They also have the Tokyo Rose, which was for the longest time in farmers markets, I will say. It was like a very hyped apple. People were like, the Tokyo Rose is in. And it's like this bright red skin. You would not know, like you cut it and it almost feels like a watermelon radish, like where you're just like, it's red inside.
Right, like it throws you off. Yeah.
Yeah, they also have like, I'm just going to read some of these so people understand. The Arkansas great. Black, the Ambrosia, the Elmada, which is also red flesh, the Blondie, 2 E's, the Black Gilliflower. These are apples you have never heard of in your life.
You're not going to find these in Safeway. Yeah.
No, that's so cool. As an apple lover, I'm going to go in there.
It's great. Well, and Claudia, they have baked goods at their farm. We got them last time. Holy cow, are they great. And I'm like, I want to write them and be like, could you please bring these to the farmers markets? Like their apple turnover and apple fritter were amazing. I don't know what kind of apples they were using in it, but it was like so fresh, so delicious, not overly sweet, not overly acidic. It was fantastic. So
that sounds awesome.
It's, you can get the fresh fruit, but you can also get the super unhealthy for you, delicious, ultra sugary baked goods that we love in America. So.
That's right. I'm sold. I've never done this Fruit Loop aside from the like on the railway.
The bike, yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, I had a little wine. I went to some, and it didn't feel like a farm. It was more just like a cool market stand,
right,
that sold like almonds. I don't know what I was eating. I was just like, yeah, here I am. I now want to go with purpose. But let's take a quick break here. And when we come back, places to eat in the area. Dive back in time to explore what lurked beneath the surface in Monsters of the Abyss, aquatic predators past and present, on view now at the Oregon Museum of Science and Industry. This fully immersive exhibition brings guests through millions of years to witness the rise and fall of Earth's most famous and feared aquatic predators. Visitors can also come face to face with a full replica of a Spinosaurus, an aquatic dinosaur larger than a T-Rex. There are real fossils and full replica skeletons of some of these sea monsters. Plus, there are live animals in the exhibit, including an Asian water monitor, a diamond terrapin, a caiman lizard, and so much more. Get your tickets today at omsi.edu. That's omsi.edu. Don't miss out on Portland Piano International's upcoming recitals. This is their 48th season, presenting the finest pianists in the world right here in Portland. And they have 2 core recitals, Timeless, where they showcase beloved classic repertoire, and the not-so-classical extension, Boundless. For example, Anderson and Rowe, the Juilliard-trained and Grammy Award-nominated duo that's taking the stage, their sound exists on a musical plateau where Brahms and Beethoven are hanging out with Leonard Bernstein and Leonard Cohen, and Ravel shows up and rubs shoulders with Radiohead. Their Boundless recital is going to be a bold declaration that solo piano shouldn't be limited to strict genre conventions. You can catch them at Lincoln Hall October 14th at 7:30. Get your tickets now at portlandpiano.org. That's portlandpiano.org. So what about your favorite places to eat in the area? Like what, if you're just like, don't want to eat pears all day.
Right. I get that. We are omnivores. There are other things to eat on the Fruit Loop and around the Fruit Loop. So actually one of my favorite restaurants in Hood River, it's not a part of the Fruit Loop because it's in downtown Hood River, but it's Broder Oast. So if you're familiar with Broder Nord or Broder Cafe.
Oh, I didn't know they had a Broder there.
They have so many Broders, Claudia. I recently found they have a Broder in Astoria now.
What?
Yes.
Where it belongs, honestly.
Yeah, that feels very...
Because I feel like Astoria is very like Northern Europe.
Scandinavian.
Yes. Okay.
But the Hood River location, Broder Oast, is super cool because it's in the ground floor of this like historic hotel in downtown Hood River. And it serves a lot of the things that you're going to see at, the other Broder locations, but there are also some unique dishes that you're only going to find on the menu there. And that's actually a really cool thing about the whole Broder chain in general, is like each location will have 1 or 2 unique dishes that are just for that menu.
Oh.
And so this is just a great place to go for breakfast or brunch, before you head out on the Fruit Loop. And then there are 2 spots that are actually on the Fruit Loop. So the first one is actually a winery. It's called Stave and Stone. Beautiful, beautiful property. Definitely get a reservation if you can, and ask to sit on the patio if it's not raining, because holy cow, are the views from there stunning. Ooh. You can see Mount Adams over in Washington on clear days, and it's just phenomenal. The wine's really good, but they also turn out like really great food that goes way beyond just a cheese board. I've had like green chili stew there that was delicious. But then there's another place that is called Apple Valley Barbecue.
Okay.
It is in this little town called Parkdale, which is along the Hood River Fruit Loop. It's unique because, in Portland, we have a lot of like Texas style barbecue. This is not that. In fact, they call it Northwest style barbecue. It is sort of their unique take on it. They're smoking everything on cherry wood. So cherry wood sourced from orchards in the Hood River Valley, which gives everything this like very subtle sweetness factor. And they do some really interesting dishes as well as traditional, they do like barbecued half chickens and ribs and pulled pork. But my favorite thing there, I got this most recently, was their smoked meatloaf, which is, I love smoked meatloaf in general, but theirs is a little bit different. Like I said, it's got a subtly sweet flavor, and they cover it in their own like demi glaze that they made with, I don't know what. And it's just like this really nice family owned small shop. It's got, outdoor seating if the weather's nice, but it's also got this like beautiful indoor space that has like wood paneling on the walls and these like live edge wood tables. It just feels like you're sort of like, down south but still in the Northwest.
It looks so cool. Do you know they have a Spanish menu? I'm already like, respect.
Yeah,
like, that's so cool. Like, they know, they're like, we're in an agricultural area.
That's the thing. It's not necessarily aimed at tourists. It's aimed at the people who live in the area.
Yeah.
You know?
They have a poblano chicken chili sandwich that I definitely want to get.
Yeah.
But I'm really excited about these places. So here's the deal. When I think of Hood River, I'm always texting friends who are from there or whatever. I'm like, where to wait? Because I always, and no shade, I always end up at Freem. But sometimes I just want to try something else because Freem is like so good.
Plus Freem is here now. So you can go to Milwaukee, as I've heard on this show.
Exactly. It's in Milwaukee. But but that's like always my like Hood River, because I know I'm going to love it. But wow, now I have Broder Oost. Yes, Stave & Stone I'm excited about because
it's a really good winery.
The thought of like all of the leaves, and that's the other thing about the Fruit Loop that you want to do in the fall is the leaves. Everything's going to be so beautiful. But have you heard about, I haven't been to Apple Valley, but have you heard about Grasslands?
No, I have not.
Okay, so again, it is in Hood River proper, like the downtown Hood River area. Yeah. But there is like a little area where there's just food carts.
So, I know exactly where you're talking about.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So in that, there is a like renowned barbecue place called Grasslands.
Oh, I had no idea what it's called. I've had it. Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
What did you think of it?
It's great.
It's right?
Yeah.
I'm curious now because I'm like, now I have two competing barbecue places.
I think they're very different.
Okay.
They're very, very different. Like, honestly, Apple Valley Barbecue is not like any other barbecue place I've ever been to. It's not so different that you're going to be like, this isn't barbecue, but there are subtle tweaks to how they do it. And it does start with the wood. Like the fact that they smoke everything exclusively on cherry wood is unique. Like a lot of places are using, hickory or oak or even mesquite for tougher cuts of meat. And so it's just like a different vibe. It's very different than Grassland. I think Grassland is technically like Texas style.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
So, like that Austin metro area that seems to be a hotbed for Pacific Northwest exports now. You can't go wrong at either. But I do think try Apple Valley at least once. It may not be for you, but it's a really cool experience.
What I'm hearing is that there's now a sub barbecue loop.
There's exactly. Maybe that'll be the next thing.
You don't like apples?
Yeah. Not a big fruit eater. Well, eat a bunch of smoked meat. Yeah, you can definitely do that.
Well, I'm now intrigued.
Can I actually offer one other restaurant pick?
Sure, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so again, in Hood River, not a part of the Fruit Loop. I think it's my favorite restaurant in the Columbia River Gorge. It's called the Mesquitery. It is like owned by she's like Polish, I want to say, this Polish woman. So it's a steakhouse that also makes like homemade pierogies, pesto Alfredo, and every protein is cooked over mesquite wood on a grill. Ooh. It is fantastic. The food is just like delicious, way better than it should be for the price, in all honesty.
Yeah, it looks like it would be a lower priced restaurant, let's put it that way.
It's like,
yeah, but like in a good way.
Price wise, it compares with like the chain steakhouses that you know of, but like
this looks
so much better. So it's just a really cool spot, and they have a bar connected to it that's, I can't remember what it's called, but like is much more focused on like the beers and the liquors and stuff like that. But the Mesquitery is just a really fun, family-owned restaurant right in Hood River that is a great way to like cap off a day because it opens at like 4 or 5, something like that. So you can't go there for lunch. They definitely do not do brunch. But you can go there. You can get some great steaks or pasta or pierogies, which is like, yeah, that's hard to find in the Northwest.
Oh, man, I'm definitely going to hit this. Man, I went from like, I don't know where to eat in the Hood River. I got too many places. Oh, this is so great, though. Thank you. I should have been texting you. I'm texting people who live there.
Hood River, if it wasn't so expensive. But Hood River is great,
Well, you've piqued my interest on wineries and stuff. Like, where are other places that you would be like, if you want to get a drink,
Yeah, if you want to get a drink, that's the cool thing is like, they're growing fruit out there. They're not just apples and plums. There are lots of vineyards out there growing wine grapes. A few that really stand out, Stave & Stone is probably my favorite winery in Hood River. It's not the only one, but that is the one that I really like. The Gorge White House, which is actually not too far from Pearl's Place, the first stop on my tour of Hood River's Fruit Loop. The Gorge White House is really renowned for its hard ciders and wine. And it's like a beautiful, like historic giant white house. And it has like really nice views and a beautiful like courtyard space. And they make their own hard ciders and wines right there on site. And you're going to be able to try, unique flavors as well as traditional stuff. But it's a nice place to sit and enjoy a glass of cider or wine. Another place that people really like, I'll admit, I have never had their hard ciders. I've had their non-alcoholic ciders, but Draper Girls Country Farm. They also do U-Pick, but their standout, the thing that people really seem to flock to them for is their hard ciders. And they're doing weird things. I saw this when I was there recently. Like, everyone's got slushies now, but they've like mixed ciders to create like these fusion boozy cider slushies that you're not going to find anywhere else. So like they're taking like their cherry and nectarine hard ciders and blending them together in a slushie. And they just have like a beautiful yard too, where you can sit. It's surrounded by wildflowers. You have views of Mount Hood.
Yeah, the pictures look amazing.
Yeah, no, it is a beautiful space to hang out. And they have really good fruit too.
Ooh.
You pick and a really nice like farm store. So if you're not really into going out into the fields and getting your own, they pick a bunch of it for you. They sell jams and all kinds of other processed things made with their fruit as well. So, there really is something for everyone at Draper Girls Country Farm.
Wow. God, that was such a good commercial, Brian. There really is something for everyone at Draper Girls Country Farm. Oh my God. Are you getting kickbacks?
No, I can affirm I am not. The Hood River Fruit Loop is just like a really fun way to spend a day. And it's also cool because you are supporting these small family-owned agricultural outfits that make where we live so unique. Like the fact that we are in a city where you're never more than an hour away from like full-on agricultural land that is feeding vast swaths of this country is really interesting. And they're growing food that you're not going to find.
And not just soybeans.
No, not just soybeans and corn.
And no diss to
we need
our
soybeans
Midwest.
and
We
corn.
need soybeans and corn. But I'm just saying, it's boring as fuck. And this is wonderful.
It's so boring.
Yeah.
I grew up like next to cornfields in a city that, I should say corn or soybean fields. They alternated every year.
Oh, of course, because they learned once not to do that.
You got to do the crop rotation,
Yeah, we're pretty blessed.
Yeah, no, we
it's
are.
Probably why we're on fire.
That's a big reason why.
Probably. It's all these freaking cider slushies.
Yep.
Well, before we wrap up, anything else that you would like to shout out?
Yes.
I didn't believe that you were the expert in this, but I'm like, Brian knows a lot about this Fruit Loop.
I love this Fruit Loop, Claudia.
Brian
It's
loves
great.
this Fruit
It's
Loop.
one of my favorite things in Oregon, honestly. And one of my favorite places on the Fruit Loop is this. It's like, it is a farm.
Okay.
It is a vintage shop. It is also an old school soda fountain that makes fresh fruit soft serve using fruit that they harvest themselves from their farm.
Ooh, like Nico's?
Like Nico's, yes. On a machine that is older than you and I combined, I'd imagine.
Wow.
It is really cool. They also make like Italian sodas with this fruit and whatnot. The vintage store is really cool. They're sourcing stuff from all over. They have great collections of old Pendleton shirts and, vinyl records and kitchenware and just all kinds of stuff that you're going to love looking through. And they also have U-Pick. Like, you can go out there, not right now. In fact, their season does shut down in October, so you'll want to check with them and check on their Instagram. It kind of varies from year to year when they close down for the season. But, during the peak of the summer, they have U-Pick flowers, they have U-Pick fruit and berries. But the vintage store and soda fountain alone are worth a visit out there. I always try to stop and get a Marionberry milkshake with malt added to it. Not something you can get in Portland.
Yeah.
And it is phenomenal. It's like one of the best versions of fresh fruit ice cream that I think you can find in the entire Northwest. So
I'm looking at their Instagram and it is the cutest.
It's cool. The family lives right on site. Like, the house is right next door to the store. It's just a really cool space and a nice way to cap off a day of walking in fruit fields by like checking out vintage stuff from Hood River County.
Yeah, and if you go there early enough, they also have like a U-Pick flower operation where they make their own bouquets and you purchase them, and it's like $12. And
everything's reasonably priced there.
Yeah.
Like, even the vintage stuff is reasonably priced. Like, I don't know, there can be like a Portland markup on vintage stuff
Oh,
at thrift stores and whatnot.
100%. Yeah.
It's not happening at the old Trunk.
Ooh, this is cool. Yeah, I'm going to check this out. So I've been actually highlighting every place I want to go to that we've been talking about. I'm like, this is the perfect day. I'm going to look like a hero. Yeah, this is so cool. Well, Brian, I appreciate your time. Thank you for going through this. I'm sure that you have like more.
Oh, it was hard actually, like cutting it down and being like, all right, we don't have 3 hours to talk about the Fruit Loop. But
if only you had your own publication where people could go to and get more of this wonderful information.
Yeah,
Brian,
definitely.
aside from texting you like I do.
No, go to stumptownsavings.com. I'm covering the local food system, not just in Portland, but also out in Hood River County. I've got a piece coming out soon on pumpkin patches. So I've looked at, like the top 25, 30 pumpkin patches in the entire metro area, including a few out in Hood River County. And I love to talk about farms and the food that we buy and eat. So check out stumptownsavings.com for more like this.
Cool. And we're going to link it to our show notes if you, like I, are really bad at listening. Which is why I have a podcast.
Perfectly suited for it.
Ooh, yeah. And now for some events happening this week. Every Thursday on the show, we like to bring you a few recommendations to help you plan your weekend. Here's what we got. Tonight, Stinkfest is back. Portland's annual fermentation festival is once again being held at the Eco Trust's Irving Street studio in the Pearl. You can sample fermented foods and beverages and also get tips and recipes from experts and fellow stink makers. It's $20 at the door, but kids under 12 get in for free. I might go just to try natto because it's on my foods to try out bucket list. And starting on Friday and going through the weekend, you can go check out more than 300 works of art from over 100 local artists at Portland's Oregon Contemporary on North Interstate. It's where Disjecta used to be for the old heads. It's absolutely free, and there will be live music and artist conversations. This looks really awesome. Also this weekend, the Portland Indigenous Marketplace is setting up shop at the Oregon Convention Center. From 10 to 4 p.m., there will be drumming, musical performances, vendors, and so many Indigenous makers. Get an early start on your holiday gift buying, or maybe just treat yourself to some beaded blazer earrings or some beautiful leather work. Of course, this is all just scratching the surface. There is so much happening this weekend. For even more local news and events, sign up for our daily newsletter, Hey Portland. We'll throw a link in the show notes. And before we head out, thanks again to today's sponsor, Portland Piano International, and a huge thank you to everyone who joined the Portland Neighbors program during our membership drive last week. We hit our membership goal, so thank you so much, and a special thank you to our newest members, Dominic L., Kristen A., Caitlin W., Daniel Y., Veronica W., Cassandra O., Jessica N., Kelly R., Michael L., Jessica C., Jean C., and Rachel S. If you too want to help support local news, which we need now more than ever, and also get some really cool perks like ad-free listening, earlier access to our event picks, and invites to member-only events, head over to membership.citycast.fm and sign up today. That's membership.citycast.fm. Plus, you'll get a free tote bag if you sign up through the end of this week. That's all for today here on CityCast Portland. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed the show, share it with a friend or rate and leave us a good review. It really helps us out. And don't forget, you can support this show and get some great perks by becoming a CityCast neighbor. Just visit membership.citycast.fm for all the details. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more from around the city. Until then, see you at Slim's.